We like to think of our show as a thoroughbred. How about just bread? It's quality. It's here on NEOtropolis. This is not business as usual. Welcome to NEOtropolis. We are not business as usual. Hi, I'm your host, Jim Evans. Tonight's show just might be the best thing since sliced bread, and a lot of other familiar breads too, made to perfection right here in Northeast Ohio by a family-owned company that has been at the top of the industry for generations. You probably know who they are, but you may not know their whole story, so stay with us for that. But as we like to do from the start, we'll first take a look at regional business news from the NEOtropolis Good Business News Aggregator.
This is the good business news along the I-77 corridor for the week of March 21st. Tuesday's Cleveland Plain Dealer business section reports that the E-Group, a division of Akron-based First Energy Solutions Corporation that advises commercial and industrial clients in all 50 states about energy efficiency strategies, has been approved as an Energy Star service by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and the U.S. Department of Energy. The designation will expand energy management services currently available to E-Group clients and provide more energy-efficient options. Tuesday's Akron Beacon Journal business section reports that Germany-based Roschling Automotive broke ground Monday on an injection molding plastic parts factory in Akron. The $15 million, 75,000 square foot facility is expected to open in October and anticipates employing over 120 people by 2013. Wednesday's Cleveland Plain Dealer and Akron Beacon Journal business sections report that Akron-based Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company plans to spend billions of dollars over the next couple of years upgrading and building facilities worldwide in order to make higher profit tires in China, Chile, and Brazil. Thursday's Cleveland Plain Dealer business section reports that national celebrity chef Wolfgang Puck will be establishing a Wolfgang Puck Express Cafe in the newly built University Hospital's Seidman Cancer Center on the campus of UH Case Medical Center in Cleveland's University Circle neighborhood. The 2,500 square foot sit-down cafe will be the nation's first Puck restaurant in a hospital and his first business in Northeast Ohio. Thursday's Akron Beacon Journal community section reports that the University of Akron's Board of Trustees approved a $750,000 in site work for a $14.8 million research facility for the College of Engineering. The 39,000 square foot building will be located on Wolf Ledges Parkway on the west side of campus. Construction is expected to be completed by December. This is the good business news along the I-77 corridor for this week. NEOtropolis is your source for good business news.
The next time you have a sandwich or similar and the bread or bun is, wow, this is really good, it may have something to do with slow batch mixing, among other things. That's a key process used for some time now by a top bread company in our region. You'll see more on that in just a few moments. And a key part of our process is to check in with our content partner, the Business Journal. It's time for the Weekly Buzz.
I'm Stacia Urtis with the Business Journal Weekly Buzz for Youngstown and the Mahoning Valley. The Youngstown area's largest healthcare system, Forum, now has a new name.
3, 2, 1, bingo.
The new owners announced what was once Forum Health will now be called Valley Care, with the names of the individual hospitals, Northside Trumbull Memorial and Hillside Rehabilitation, remaining the same. Community Health Systems of Tennessee purchased the Forum Health Systems during a bankruptcy court-sponsored auction last fall. 100 more jobs are coming to Salem in Columbiana County. Mack Trailer Manufacturing has already hired 100 new workers since August. The plant manager says they're now planning to hire 100 more, bringing the total number to 325. Mack currently runs 2 shifts at its Allen Road plant and has seen a rebound in orders for flatbed trailers. An Akron company, Old Forge Services, will be relocating most of its operations to Braceville in Trumbull County. The company plans to move part of its workforce and all of its manufacturing and trucking operations to the site of former lumber company Trumbull Dry Kilns. It's located along Youngstown Road in Braceville. Owner Teresa Eubanks says the site has everything the company needs, including a large kiln that can be used to heat treat pallets and room for further business ventures. The plan is to use the Akron building now just for warehousing and storage. Appliance and electronics retailer H.H. Gregg is ready to hire about 50 people for its new store in Boardman. H.H. Gregg plans to open up this spring in the former Sofa Plus store on Route 224. Positions are available for managers in training, commissioned sales associates, warehouse staff, and customer service merchandisers. H.H. Gregg specializes in digital TVs and major appliances. As local governments work to cut their budgets, Lordstown is hoping wind will help cut the bills. Two 10-kilowatt wind turbines are now generating electricity for the village's administration building. The total cost of the project, $131,000, 90% of it covered by grants.
We expect to save the township at least 30% of the annual cost.
Lordstown expects to save $290 a month on its electric bill and recover its investment in 3 years. And those are this week's headlines. Be sure to check out the Buzz Newscast every business day online at businessjournaldaily.com. I'm Stacia Erdis. We'll see you next week.
And now it's time for a NEOtropolis fact.
Did you know that Akron is the home of the first artificial fish bait, manufactured by the Pfluger Fishing Tackle Company?
Tonight we're thinking out of the bread box. And for over 100 years, the Youngstown Bread Company has been doing just that. Schwebel's Bakery has been and continues to be one of the premier bakeries in Northeast Ohio. They've certainly grown over the years, but you know, it's their heritage, their quality, their longevity that makes them so unique. We had the pleasure of getting a closer look at their business and their tremendous success story.
To keep it fresh out there. Again, they say that.
The Schwebel's pledge has been the key piece in the foundation and their longtime success. The company was founded by Joe and Dora Schwebel in 1906, making rye bread in their Center Street home and delivering door to door. Dora maintained the company's growth after her husband's death, then through the Great Depression and after, to make it what it is today, still headquartered in Youngstown, and now with 3 state-of-the-art production facilities that also includes Cuyahoga Falls and Solon, and 20 distribution centers delivering to 4 states. It's evident their story is not business as usual.
This is the obvious fact, and that's that we're a family business, and we've been at it for 105 years. So it is unique, and you know, only 3% of family businesses actually make it to the 4th generation. But it's not just that we're family or that we're an older company. I think that it's where we've stayed relevant to the times.
Their longevity is without compare, certainly in this industry. 9 family members oversee the company, which has experienced exceptional growth since setting up in its current location in 1951. And their continual momentum is driven by a key theme.
For longevity, there's quality. And quality is something that is a value system for us. We hold it dear. And we don't take it lightly. Every family member is involved in some way in quality. We go out to the plant, we look at products daily, and it's of utmost importance to us.
They've certainly been a model business functional family, and that means a lot of advantages to being a family business.
Do you want to talk to Joe Schwebel? Just call in and ask for Joe Schwebel. Joe Schwebel happens to be president of our company. If you want to speak to Allison Winnick, just call in and say, I have a question for Allison. You know, we take all our calls. There's nobody up there. There's no gatekeeper there. We connect to the people that we serve.
Remaining consistent in doing that is one of the challenges they face, as does every successful operation. They've achieved that by maintaining their long-time consistent business model.
Schwebel's bread still takes 8 hours every day. So, you know, it's funny. It's an interesting business that way, and that the continuity, you know, with a fresh product like bread, that the continuity is really the key. And the model that was set back with my great-grandmother, Dora, that model basically is still the same.
And so are the variety of great-tasting Schwebel products. Now, we couldn't get their secret recipes, but we do know that there is no rush job here. The premium falls on their unique baking process, slow batch mixing, to help get their fresh product goal.
Baking is about two things, time and temperature. And that's what I mean by that is quality baking is about time and temperature. And so that's what we're still focused on, the same time and the same attention to temperature with the dough as it's being made within the facility.
It's important, this freshness. You know, it's baked there, it goes out tonight, and it's on the grocery shelves tomorrow. And the people in all the communities which we service, which as a large regional, and I know you know this, but we go up through New York and down to West Virginia and most of Ohio. The communities we service have fresh Schwebel's product the next day.
To stay fresh for their customers and in the industry, staying ahead of the curve is so important. And to maintain strategic growth, marketing is vital, as it has been for a long time with this company. Dora Schwebel knew the value of effective advertising with a message of wholesome quality and fun. And that set the standard for their marketing tactics for years now, with memorable visuals and audio jingles. Today, it's even customer interactive with a recent online video contest that drew tremendous response and results.
A long, long time ago, Grandpa Joe and Grammy Schwebel baked their own bread in their own kitchen.
This is all part of the ever-changing marketing mix companies now integrate with traditional methods.
The channels are different, you know, so for social media, for what we're doing with, our customers one-to-one on Facebook, Twitter, whatever it might be, we're still doing what we did with the same sort of velocity that Dora did and the same kind of essence, but it's just got a fresher twist or a more modern twist to it.
Schwebel's has obviously been so important to Youngstown and Northeast Ohio with their great products, philanthropy, and community involvement. It's been a great partnership.
Youngstown born, Youngstown bred. I mean, I don't know how I can say it any better than that. You know, we have been in this community, we've contributed to this community, they've contributed to us.
The company now has some 1,200 employees overall with a tenure rate that is twice the national average, and that has paid dividends in key ways.
But the way that it translates for our customers and really for us is it needs experience. It means you're not dealing with people that are new, that they're green, that we're always spitting new people and coming in. You know, this is how you mix. No, the guy or the person, man or woman, who's mixing or who's working in wrapping has done this, has been out there. And so experience either in the bakeries or experience with our sales team, it's invaluable.
And so are those family business values. And with a fifth generation now in the mix, Schwebel's will continue to be part of our families for some generations to come.
Stand up and shout, I want Schwebel's. There's no other labels will do. No other labels will do.
Are you not doing business as usual? Then email us at NEOtropolis.org and tell us how you're changing your business, organization, or government agency to compete in the new economy. And who knows, you could be starring on NEOtropolis, not business as usual. So we took a look at a bread company from a microeconomic point of view. Now we talk with experts in the field for a macroeconomic perspective, or what we like to call fly-eye economics.
With over 4,000 lenses, the eyes of a common housefly are among the most complex in the insect world.
With us tonight are panelists Rick Rebineau, Executive Vice President of the Greater Akron Chamber, Larry Finch, Director of Community Planning and Development for the City of Twinsburg, and Steve Katz, Senior Vice President of the Canton Regional Chamber of Commerce. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being with us this evening. You know, as we saw in the story, and as most people know, Schwebel's has been a company that's been around for over a century now. Talk about, as we start off, the importance of that type of longevity to have a company in a community. Rick, we'll start with you.
I think it's very important. It gives you a sense of place. It gives a company that has been here for a long time. It's a mainstay. It's weathered a lot of economic conditions, and it is a good ambassador for companies that are either here expanding or looking to come into the area, it's one of the mainstays. It gives a character.
Just building on that a little bit, it's very important for a community to have a stable economic base, and companies like Schwebel's contribute to that stable employment and economic activity for a city. That really serves as a basis for building other economic activity around that stable company.
Certainly would agree with everything I've heard so far. They really form the base and a critical component of our local business community. These companies exhibit sustainability. They provided jobs for generations. Very philanthropic, and just really help form, as Rick said, a place, and helps define the community.
This is pretty rare now, or is it, to have a company with this type of longevity?
Well, we have seen a lot of changes in our local economic base over the years, but in our community we have quite a few companies, from large publicly held to some small operations with several employees that have been for generations, that have been operating successfully.
The other interesting aspect of that is that there are a lot of challenges now with the big boxes and the chains, and it gets companies increasingly difficult that are homegrown to compete in the same market. But companies that have exhibited longevity usually found that equation and how they can compete and where their niche is within that market. And sometimes it adds credibility to the market, but it also allows it to distinguish itself as a unique factor. When companies come here and visit, and they visit somebody like Schwebel's, they remember it. So it's good for the community too.
I'd like, in addition to that, a company like Schwebel's, it's been around for a long time. It's only been there because they've managed to evolve. A business base is a very dynamic thing. It has to change as time changes. Time changes everything. It changes the way we do business. It changes the way businesses operate. It changes how much automation there is in the business, how many employees there are. The business environment is dynamic and constantly changing. And businesses like Schwebel's have been successful in adapting to those changes.
I just want to add, you can't take these companies for granted either. You need to keep in touch with them. I mean, we've certainly had companies in our community that we thought would be there forever that are now gone.
You can never be comfortable with that. You
Absolutely.
can never be comfortable
you
with
need
that.
to keep in touch with them. How can you help them? What can you do to help them grow their company?
Is being family-owned a big part of the reason that they've been able to continue on as they have?
I think they probably, it gives some consistency, continuity, and I think it also gives a sense of trust. But it also provides the community with a stable that's been there, and it shows a commitment, which if a family-owned company shows commitment to the area, that sort of transcends to other businesses in the community, and they tend to cluster together. I mean, those family businesses know one another, and they actually promote the area, and it makes our job a lot easier because we take them there as part of a restaurant or entertaining guests coming into the area. So it's great to have. It's a tool for us.
They really provide real-life examples that the business community is working, and the companies like that are operating find it to be, the community be successful. They can succeed there, and certainly others look at that, and I think that certainly speaks well.
Another advantage to family-owned business is they can be a little bit more flexible. They don't have to answer to a public stock offering or the level of their sales value of their stocks. The company's management can do what they think is best for the company, regardless of what the economic issues happen to be at the time. As long as they're looking at the long run, they're generally healthy and continue to be productive.
The interesting aspect of that is loyalty. If you're a homegrown company, family-owned business, you have a lot of loyal followers.
Absolutely.
Businesses are very mobile, but so are consumers. Absolutely. More and more today. But when you add that component of a little bit homegrown business, that has many supporters in the area, people that have been here a long time, it adds a lot of credibility to the area, but it also gives them this factor that's not really in the business environment today, and that's loyalty, regardless of bottom line.
You also find that amongst the employees. Often they have employees that have been long-term, have been with the company a long time, and also they often have a lot of retirees in the community. So it really does help form the base. And
how about a company like this in terms of attracting other businesses to a community? Is that a factor at all?
Well, sure. I mean, if you have people in from out of town that are looking at the area, they're looking at it from the business purpose also. If their businesses are financially viable and they see this as an area that they can make money and they can control their costs, then they look at the quality of life and the cultural amenities. And if having a stable like Schwebel's in the community, it tells a unique story because they've evolved along with the community. So I think it's a good factor again for us.
Often when we have out-of-town companies looking at the community, we'll have them speak with some of the local companies that have been in business for a long time because they can speak well about the community and really provide a real-life example.
We try to take them there. We really don't try to take them to some of the large chain restaurants because they have that. That's not unique. It doesn't tell the story of the area. As when we are looking to tell a story, all of us, and some of us were all together on the same company. Many times we're all together because they're looking at more than one location. And sometimes, if we are very lucky, we can get reinforcement for like Schwebel's, but other companies too in our specific areas, and that really adds a flavor to the regional aspect of it.
And Richard hit on a little bit earlier the issue of having a company that is, in essence, a staple in the community, provides that sense of place. You mentioned sense of place, and makes your company stand out from your community stand out, and it gives your community its image and its perceived set of values, and gives you something to remember about that community.
We only have a moment left, but if someone can talk on this about enterprise zones and how this is a good tool to generate new industry and what all is involved.
Well, for us, enterprise zones are an important incentive that we're able to offer companies that are building new structures, and it's certainly an incentive that a lot of other communities offer, so something that you have to put on the table. And often companies find it to be quite useful and helpful.
Unfortunately, we can go on and on, I think, about that, but we've run out of time. So, and we had sandwiches, but the crew ate all the bread and the buns. So, sorry, guys. But thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Great job. Again, what a past, present, and future for Schwebel's. With that, it's time now for Into the Future.
Into the future.
Hi, my name is Anthony Broad-Crawford. I'm the Director of Partnerships for StartupBus.com. StartupBus.com is an international competition where emerging entrepreneurial and technology cities compete against one another by putting 25 of the city's best, brightest visionaries, builders, and engineers on a bus to within 1,800 miles en route to South by Southwest Interactive, conceive, build, and launch new products and services. In our first year, when we had a bus leave San Francisco to Austin, we had 25 of the world's best designers and engineers launch 7 businesses. Once there, 2 went on to Y Combinator, where one received $1.5 million, and the other is now in acquisition talks with Zynga. This year, we're back with 6 cities: Cleveland, Chicago, Miami, New York, Palo Alto, and San Francisco, where these cities are going to place their best and brightest on a bus to travel to South by Southwest to compete against one another for the title of the next Silicon Valley. Once there, they are going to present in front of a panel of judges from the leading venture capitalists, angel funds, builders, and designers from the technical world to not just find the best team and get funding, but to also win the title of the next Silicon Valley. To find more information, please go to StartupBus.com.
You know, we like to give you the rundown on the financial field, and the experts at NCA Financial Planners are here now to do that with a stock wrap.
This week's local company spotlight is Timken Company. Originally founded in 1899 in St. Louis, the company moved to Canton, Ohio in 1901. Its start came from Henry Timken, a St. Louis carriage maker who recognized that heavy freight wagons had a hard time making sharp turns. To solve the problem, he applied a tapered roller bearing design that improved the wagon's weight and cornering loads. So successful with this application, Henry quickly found other markets for his concept, and the rest is history. Over the last 100 years plus, Timken has grown to be one of the leading producers of highly engineered, anti-friction bearing, and related products. Today, wherever there's motion, you'll find Timken at work with products and services that help create, transfer, and control power, putting friction management and power transmission technologies to work. Timken has operations in 27 countries with a team of about 20,000 employees, sales in 2010 of $4.1 billion, and was named by Ethisphere Institute as one of the world's most ethical companies in 2010. Timken trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol TKR and recently paid its quarterly dividend of 18 cents per share, which represented its 355th consecutive quarterly dividend it's paid. Its midweek closing price was $49.40. Year-to-date, the stock is up 3.5%, and over the last 5 years, the stock is up 50.84%. Back to you, Jim.
We always have room for a good slice of culture and entertainment in Northeast Ohio. The guy who butters his bread on that is Cool Cleveland's Thomas Mulready. He joins us now to tell you about some other events that are going on in NEOtropolis this weekend. What we're talking about is the business of fun.
Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com, and this week we're talking about the medical industry in Northeast Ohio. And we all know that this is one of the big growing industries in our region. And not only do we have a lot of medical innovation and startup and small companies that are spinning out the research in these big medical institutions and creating new businesses and new jobs, but we also have some great medical facilities in this region. And not only do folks from this region take advantage of this, but also folks from all around the country and all around the world come into Cleveland and they utilize our medical facilities. So we're going to suggest, while you or your family members are taking advantage of some of our great medical facilities, stick around and use some of the restaurants in the nearby area. For example, we're here at the Cleveland Clinic, and right down the street is University Hospitals, and there are some great restaurants in this region. Right behind me here at the Hotel Intercontinental is Table 45. This is Zach Brule, one of his restaurants. He's got about 4 of them. And another one of his in the area is La Albatross, which is the old vat place on Bellflower. Of course, there's Sergio's. We're right in the University Circle area. You've got Nighttown not too far away. If you're down in Akron at the Akron Children's Hospital, which is Exchange and Broadway, down there, Exchange and Bowery. But down there, you'll want to check out a place like Rico, or Cilantro, Thai and Sushi, the Diamond Deli, Da Vinci's Pizza. Over in Youngstown, if you're at the St. Elizabeth Health Center, it's right near Youngstown State University, so there's a lot of great places there. This is at Covington and Park. You've got the Peaberry's Cafe, Charlie Staples Barbecue, the Lemon Grove Cafe, Cedar Lounge and Restaurant. So check out our medical facilities, and when you're doing that here in this region, stop in at some of our great restaurants nearby. This is Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com. Have a great week in NEOtropolis.
Keep in mind, there are things that you can do to help the Northeast Ohio economy. One way is to get out to any of the events Thomas told us about and make your investment in fun. You can also position yourself out there and make your brilliant comments about the Northeast Ohio economy to any of the people sandwiched around you and tell them to spread the word. In the meantime, log on to our website, neotropolis.org, and tell us what you think. I'm Jim Evans. We'll see you next week on NEOtropolis, not business as usual.
Funding for NEOtropolis has been provided by the Burton D. Morgan Foundation, committed to the free enterprise system.
First Place Bank is proud to sponsor NEOtropolis. As a community bank, First Place Bank believes we are only as strong as the communities we serve. Locally owned businesses are the cornerstone of our communities. We concentrate on helping local businesses make the most of their resources through a variety of services delivered with a community banking touch.
The Dominion Foundation. JumpStart, working with entrepreneurs to accelerate the growth of their high-potential businesses to create a more prosperous economic future for Northeast Ohio. Youngstown Business Incubator, and NorTech.
Next week on NEOtropolis, more buzz, stock wrap, and into the future. Find out who is not doing business as usual. Now stay tuned for Newsnight.